No, they were brought up more or less like I was, without much concern for it, until I had a spell with the Pilgrim Congregational Church in Duluth, and the family did as well, and it was a very liberal church. You really didn't have to believe anything. And at the time I thought, well, God, I mean, maybe, okay, but I really didn't believe the Jesus business or any of the other things, although I loved the music. Sang in the choir and did some musical performances there as well. And looking back, I had been urged into it by a colleague who I think now had in mind that it would be good for the business, for our clientele, gather clientele. But anyway, there was a change in the pastor, and it began to look a little more somber, brooding, and I figured, oh, the heck with this. And so, although the children did, all four of them, go through the, what do you call it, confirmation classes, two of them wouldn't be confirmed, which really shocked the pastor. But anyway, but none of them are religious, and it really didn't take with them, and they know my feelings, and they are atheists too, but they don't urge it so much as I do. Well, no, I kind of left the religious idea out of my mind for quite a while until another jolt happened, and at the end of my career as a psychiatrist, I was confronted with the prospect of a merger of our secular clinic, the Duluth Clinic, with a Catholic church across the street. Well, it made very good economic sense to them all, and it was convenient and everything, but I was outraged that my colleagues would subject their medical science to papal supervision and various restrictions. So I made quite a stir about it, but I was pretty much alone. There were some people who were quietly sympathetic, but the merger people had convinced them all that the clinic was on a doom loop if they didn't do this economic move, and I guess it's worked out well for them. That is what kindled my spark to, really just start the Lake Superior Freethinkers in 1997. I did it almost totally by myself. There was some encouragement from the atheists and humanists in the cities, and actually they supplied a list of potential members up in this area, maybe about 15 or so, and that was the initial cadre. And I just had this fervor in my brain, if you will, and sat down and created this organization. Its motto, which is Ecce homo sine superstitione, behold humanity without superstition. And the four cardinal principles are separation of church and state, freedom from religion, rational thought, morality without superstition. It's still important to be a moral person, and that means, in my thinking, not being religious is a primary part of being moral. To be moral requires an accurate appraisal of the human situation. We have to look at life, we have to look at humans as animals, an animal species, part of the ecology, the ecosystem and all that. And not some kind of special God-created magical being. And so much more that to be moral means you just can't go around being superstitious and imagine the world the way you would like it to be, or a way ancient people imagined it to be. There are several, really. The first of all, it is created as and labeled a friendship group in support of, and those things I mentioned. So it's the friendship of people that that think in a what we claim is a rational sort of way, at least as rational as we can make it. And then we have accomplished quite a bit. We started a coalition in Lake Superior that actually blocked a Catholic merger with another hospital in town, St. Luke's. It was almost done. The hospital administrator said, well, Bill, it's a done deal. And they were going to merge with the Sisters of the Sorrowful Mother, if you will. And they didn't seem to realize, even the OBGYN doctors hadn't realized that their prescription of contraceptives, morning after pills in the emergency room, various gynecological procedures would have to be eliminated according to the Pope's plan. But we educated them, and one of our physicians of our group, Dr. Goldish, had been chief of medicine there, and he quietly got to the docs and helped us a lot. And the coalition partnered up with the Women's Center in Duluth, where actually abortions are done and contraceptives, etc., provided and all. So that was very successful, and it was utterly blocked. And we were also, the same coalition, able to block, or not block a merger, but save another hospital that did merge with the Duluth Clinic St. Mary's, the group that, Duluth Clinic that I belonged to, and which had become sort of Catholic, at least in the hospital part. And we ensured that that hospital, in its merger, would be spared the Catholicity troubles. Then a variety of smaller projects, and several of us were major plaintiffs with the ACLU in successfully removing Ten Commandment monument from Duluth City Hall. Yes. Yeah, I'm infamous in town, of course. Everybody knows me from my letters to the editor. Not everybody. That's a gross exaggeration. But letters to the editor and what have you. Oh, and I did get a death threat, very standard format, death threat of the scrawled letters, you know, through the mail. It was quasi-comical, but you never know with those things. But anyway, they missed me, and here I am. It's a little upsetting when it gets dark at night. Yeah. Well, people like to say that it's good for you and that you live longer and you're healthier and all this stuff. I don't believe it. Uh, what I do know is that teaching children these things cripples their rational thinking capability. It strengthens their tendency to believe in wishful thinking and in make-believe. So that, I think, is the gravest sin of church, is training these vulnerable children in just a whole variety of mistruths, dare I say lies. I dare.